And then I wanted to throw some, Luka tidbits at you. So we got some. He was the first to eclipse 1,100 before the All-Star break, and that happened a few nights ago. But his last 7 games, he's averaging 26.4 points, 8.7 rebounds, 6.9 assists. He has a 53.2% effective field goal percentage, 56.9 true shooting percentage. He assists on 38.6% of the Mavs' total assists, and he gets 24.4% of the defensive rebounds, and he has a 34.6% usage rate, and he's 19. He's turning 20, I think, like the 28th or something. He's literally like 2 weeks older than me. Just like the
Wow, I hadn't thought about it like that.
Yeah. So he's it's just sensational, just what he's done over the past few games. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's like to the T 7 games, but it might be 7 games since it was announced that he wasn't going to make the All-Star team.
Yeah.
And since then,
he's been off.
Like, all right, you're not going to put me in the All-Star game? Watch this.
Yeah, and I think one of the I may have missed this when you were reading the stats, but I think one of the best things about Luka so far that we've seen this season is that he's just been like straight up clutch. I mean, people talk about like, oh, is being clutch a real thing or not? But like, so like the NBA defines the clutch as like the last 2 minutes within like 5 points or whatever.
Right.
And he's shooting like, for his true shooting percentage, it's like over 60%. And so you compare that to his true shooting percentage for the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, it's better. Like he is playing his best basketball in the clutch. And I mean, it's pretty unbelievable for a 19-year-old rookie.
Yeah, absolutely sensational. And then I don't know if you know who this guy is, but I found out who he was earlier this week when he tweeted this. He basically said his name's Rashad Phillips. He basically said Trey Young's impact is bigger than any other rookie. Probably the worst take of all time. Like, this is going to be one of those things that shows up on Freezing Cold Takes.
Yes.
And it'll be just all over it. I mean, the biggest impact as a rookie is Trey Young, who is on one of the worst teams in the NBA. I think they have like 12 wins or something like that. Like they are not doing well at all. And he is also, super inconsistent. And actually, if you look at that, this graph gets thrown around so much with the rookies, but I don't know if you've seen this. It's like the ones where it's like total points added, and then defensive points saved. And Luka is literally like light years away from everyone, like not even no one's even close to him. He's in the positive on both. He's just like almost in the top right of the graph, especially on offense. He's like all the way on the other end, and Trey Young's in the negative on both.
Yep.
On both.
Yeah, no, that's really funny that you brought up that tweet, 'cause I saw that last night, and I kind of just started scrolling through his Twitter, and like this has been this guy's deal like this whole season.
Yeah, he has like a whole thread about Trey Young stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Get a life.
It is odd. And so I eventually found something. And so during like the draft season, he basically predicted that Trey Young was going to be better than Luka. And so he's just at this point just trying to back that up and find like cherry pick stats and like, figure out whatever he can do to make himself feel right. But it's just not true. I mean, Trey Young was heralded as this amazing, the next Steph Curry, great shooter. He's shooting 31% from the three-point range right now. Like, he's playing inconsistent. He is passing the ball
He does have some games where you're like, wow, he's playing really well. And then the next game, he'll airball like 4 threes and score like 8 points on 4 of 20 shooting.
Yeah, he's just so inconsistent. And I mean, but I mean, in all honesty, like he's not having an awful year for a rookie. But we're so spoiled in Dallas by seeing Luka play every night. We're like he's not playing like
Trey
a rookie.
Young's name is not next to Oscar Robertson and LeBron James and the guys who have had some of the best rookie seasons of all time.
Right. Yeah, and I feel like, and another thing, like betting websites aren't even taking bets for Rookie of the Year anymore.
Yeah,
like it's Luka and that's it.
Like they won't even take money, and that is just like the impact of Trey Young. Like, it baffles me because I mean Luka's having one of the greatest rookie seasons of all time, and has turned a Mavs team that was I believe they were third worst in the league last year at the end of the year in the standings. They ended up with the 5th pick, but they were 3rd worst in the standings. And then to turn that team to hovering around 500 and still competing in games without the Wesley Matthews, Harrison Barnes, DeAndre Jordan, they're still going out there and compete. I mean, they beat the Blazers the other night.
Yeah.
With a 21-5 run at the end of the game. And the Blazers are like 4th in the West. I mean, that just shows you that Luka is not something just to just throw someone else's name next to, especially with the way these other rookies have been playing this year.
Yeah. It's just, as a Mavs fan, it's insane. Like, you just look like
goosebumps.
Less than a year ago, and we have Dennis Smith, and we're like, okay, like, he's pretty solid. He can jump high.
He
like,
can jump. We got
okay.
someone in the dunk contest.
Yeah, exactly. I remember being like, oh my gosh, like, we have a Mavs player like in the national news because like he's in the dunk contest and he makes cool dunks during the games. I'm like, this is awesome. Then you fast forward to now and like, wow, we have Luka, who is just unbelievable, and then we traded for Porzingis, and we have cap space. Like, it's just changed so quickly.
And hopefully Cuban sticks to his word that he's not going to let a Nash-Dirk situation happen. I mean, he said he wants them to be together for decades. When you use decades as a word when you're talking about NBA players, you have a lot of confidence.
Yes.
A lot of confidence just in terms of injuries and so many variables, especially nowadays, and it's only going to get worse with player movement. And I think just the fact that they're two guys that have, had a similar upbringing, they can really latch on together. And Dallas is the perfect city where it's not too bright of a light, but it's a bright light. And they can really excel there. And it's really just the perfect match for a European player, given that Dirk was, had excelled so much here. And, Nash even excelled a lot here.
Yeah.
Or I guess in Dallas, I should say. But